I am very excited. Thank you to everyone for joining me. Welcome to another Earthworks Hub live Sunday session. Tonight is going to be a special one because I have finally cracked the code. I've worked out how to get myself onto TikTok and Instagram at the same time so that when I have guests on Instagram, everyone on TikTok can see those guests. So I'm very, very happy because this is the first episode where it's going to actually have be live properly on both and everyone can hear me. It took me nearly a year to work this out. How's that? So I'm finally using all this expensive equipment I bought and putting it to good use. So bear with me as I learn tonight how to get through and navigate through this, but I'm going to have everything going through TikTok and Instagram. So anyone that is a TikToker and doesn't have Instagram, they can still actually watch the whole episode. So this is good. This is big. This is very, very big news. All right. So yes, it's Sunday, the 16th of February, 2025. I've got like 4 screens in front of me, so bear with me as I try and, like I said, navigate. I'm going to be looking at multiple screens, so I may not always be looking straight at the camera, but yeah, put up with me, please. And Jenna Troy is saying, who said men can't multitask? Exactly right, man. Exactly right. So I'm really, really happy to be able to do this. So tonight's episode is specially dedicated to my sponsor, Earth Moving Warehouse. They supply attachments. So if anyone doesn't know, they supply attachments of all types for most machinery. Hammers or rock breakers, as some people call them, slashers, all types of things, man. Drills, augers, everything. Little wear parts and anything you think of, grabs, all that sort of stuff. So all attachments that you can think of, plus some machinery. They sell Kato machines, crawlers, mini dumpers, excavators, track loaders. They sell everything Australia-wide. So they've got a branch in Queensland. Now there's a branch in Melbourne. So you can get stuff here in Melbourne as well, direct, or they do ship all around Australia. So thank you to Earth Moving Warehouse, who is the sponsor for this episode. Don't forget as well, I've been putting up a number of posts here. They've given 5% off to all people that use eWorks Hub. So if you go in and on the phone or online, or if you go in person, mention eWorks Hub, that's the code, you will get instantly 5% off everything there. So do it, use the code, get the discount. That's what Earthworks Hub is about, trying to help our community. So thank you to our sponsor. All our other sponsors, we have a whole bunch more. Have a look at the description in the link once I upload this episode, or you can go to the website and they'll be on the front page under partners. And a lot of them also offer specials to all the listeners. So make sure you have a look and see what offers they have. Ben Turner on TikTok is saying, where's the rakia? There you go, man. No, we can't. I can't actually have a drink now that I've gone live on TikTok as well. They're actually very quick to respond. If they see one little bit of alcohol, even in the background, I have to cover all the bottles and that. They actually try and ban you. So they're very, very strict. So I can't even have a drink. So tonight I'm back to the water. Thanks to Digger for the drink bottle. How sick is that drink bottle? Thanks to Digger for this drink bottle. I just have water. Blesso's Earthworks is saying, just jumping in to say hi, but he's got to go. He's been listening to episodes on Spotify. Thank you, Blesso's. And to anyone that hasn't seen the episode where I interviewed Blesso's, go back and have a look at that episode, because that was a really good one to see a young fella, talking about how he runs his business. All right. Now, there you go. So yeah, Jenna Troy, and a couple of guys are there saying that, yeah, TikTok's a bit strict. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Anyway, all right. So before people start asking questions, tonight I'm going to have Aaron from Definitive Contracting. We're going to have Aaron doing a Maintenance Matters sesh. So we're going to talk about a couple of topics. We're going to answer some questions that people have asked during the week or since our last Maintenance Matters. So we've got a couple of questions to answer for people, because that's what we do. And then I might actually open it up to people to join in after that. So if you're hanging to join in, wait till we finish Maintenance Matters, and I might see with time how we go. We might actually get some people on as well. So also a quick shout out to, sorry, I'll move the mic. Sydney Rockwall. Thank you very much. He sent out a couple of goodies during the week. So thank you very much to Sydney Rockwall for sending me out some merch. Happy to rep it for him. Top guy. Comes on the show very often, so thank you very much as well. Okay, now let me have a look what else is on my notes here before I forget anything. So Aaron will be joining me in a sec. Before I put him on, don't forget to list your businesses on our Earthworks Hub website. So when you're on that website, you'll see listings. There's different listings there. You've got tip sites, events, jobs, then there's businesses. So if you want to find a business in our industry to use their services, you can go on and find them. Or if you want to put your own business on there, you can do that. And a lot of people have. And this week's listing of the week, or this episode's listing of the week, is Precision Environmental and Vegetation Management. They're based in West Gippsland in Victoria. They basically do tree management, forestry, and all types of excavation work. They also did a nice story the other day after they posted. So thank you very much. If they're on, I don't know if you're on here or not. If you are, show yourself. But if they're not, thank you anyway for that beautiful story. Talking briefly about what Earthworks Hub's about and why they listed. And why you should all list as well. All right. So now TikTokers, can you still hear me? Just before I continue, I'm going to put on Aaron from Definitive, and we're going to see if it works. This is going to be the first time I have a guest on here live on both channels. So let me just invite Aaron on 1 second. So Aaron, thank you very much for joining us. Aaron's from Definitive Contracting. Thank you very much for joining us on this Maintenance Matter segment.
No, mate, pleasure as always. It's always good to come on.
That's it, man. That's it. No, we always appreciate you coming on, and we really appreciate your feedback and comments for all the maintenance stuff that people are asking about. So thank you so much for that.
No, that's all right. That's good. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Before I go through my, I suppose, the week and a couple of posts that I did, how are you been, man? What's been happening with yourself?
Mate, been pretty busy, fixing my own gear and fixing other people's stuff as well. So, yeah, just got me double busy essentially. So, trying to fit it in to make money and then get my stuff out to make money. So, but yeah, other than that, been pretty good. Yeah, so.
That's it. Awesome, man. Awesome. What's Nigs and the Digs? You're saying, Aaron, what does let it develop truly mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
why is he asking that?
Yeah, let it develop. So once it's leaving a puddle on the ground, so it goes from like a single drip to a puddle, that's development. That's let it develop.
That's what he means. Okay, all right, there you go, there you go. All right, cool. It must be an inside joke. I didn't get it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'll just quickly go through a couple of things that happened this week. So I thought I'll invite you on. You can be part of it anyway, and then we'll do the maintenance questions. Right. So, and then I thought this way you can input as well. So, the first thing this week, I posted up a picture of my first machine, which was a Cabalco SK210. I think it was like a 2008 model. I can't remember what dash that was. Maybe a dash. Like the old bubble 8? I don't know. Cab style one? No, it was still square. But probably just after the bubble ones. Yeah, it was square though. I don't know what year it was. Anyway, but that was my first machine. So a lot of guys were saying that they always started with small machines, and I said, sometimes I wonder whether I should have started small rather than straight up with a big machine. What do you think, man? What do you think?
Well, it's hard. Like I bought one of the highest wearing bits of kit you could probably get, I think, with like a twin shaft shredder, like slow speed shredder. So, but I mean, you just do what's right for you at the time and what the market dictates, So,
yeah. I think for me, the reason I went with the 20-tonner is because when I was learning, I was actually sitting on my cousin's 20-ton machine on a civil site. And I used to work on that a lot. So I think that was just what I got used to. And then they were saying to me, like, just get your machine on the civil site. It'll be a 20-ton machine. You'll get work all the time. And you won't have to do little fiddly things. So especially when you're first starting, you won't get forced into like little tight corners and stuff. So they were like, just get a 20. You can load trucks until you get better. And then get a small one. So that was my theory behind that. So that's why I went for the bigger one.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. 100%.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
There's a big difference too between like a 20 and a little 5-tonner.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It is true. I think it's probably not bad though, because it's true. If I was just straight into my five and I got put on a job site with so concreters, and they're like, "All right, dig out this all the footings for this slab," and then I'm in there like stuck in this corner trying to dig trenches, and they're yelling at me to hurry up because concrete's on the way. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, it does make me think that a 20 tonner might be a better decision to start with. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, you can just dig yourself into a deeper hole quicker, that's all.
Yeah, true. And when things break down, they just cost a lot more too.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, true, true. All right. Then I actually did a little post of a float truck that was like way overloaded. He had like 30 pieces of equipment all on there, all stacked in. That's gone viral, man. That's got like over on Instagram. That has like over 650,000 views, man. Like that took off. I can't believe it, man. So yeah, all these people are saying like, oh, well, if it fits, just ship it and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I posted, and then I did a lot of these Jack's hacks. So people are saying, what are these Jack's hacks? So Jack Healy is from E&B Hire. He's a regular on our show. He often puts up videos or sends them to me showing himself fixing his machine or doing stuff. So what I've been doing is just I did a hashtag Jack's hacks and started posting them, and they're going off. They get like 15,000 views and stuff. Like people love that. So I told
Yeah.
him just keep sending them and I'll keep posting them. So it's good. People get to see what people are doing, what other owner operators are doing on their machines, you know?
Yeah, yeah. There's another
Yeah.
good guy I've been chatting to on Instagram as well. I think it's Pat's Insta by the gram, and he's a heavy like earth moving guy. He works for Mater, I think, and he posts some really cool videos of how he's diagnosing stuff and what he's doing. So yeah, if anyone's keen and interested in that, jump on his and have a look. So yeah, he reckons he's got a lot of people that jump on and watch him as he diagnoses and walks through different things. So it's pretty good. I always forget to do it. I just go head first into the job, you know. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Like I was saying, yeah, send them, man. You do it. I know it's hard that you get to the job. I do that a lot. Like I get somewhere and then I start working and doing stuff and then I'm like, oh, I could have recorded this. I could have done this, and it's like too late now. So
yeah,
yeah, I know, I
yeah.
know, I know.
I snapped some photos the other day on that big crusher, and then yeah, we were in the rain. Like yeah, that was torture, that job, but we got there.
Yeah, yeah. And Nigs and the Digs was saying congrats on your crushes. So tell us a bit about these crushes. Are you happy to talk about them or what's happening?
Yeah, yeah. So I've got two. They're slow speed shredders. So you got two shafts that'll spin together, or asyncs, and they'll spin. And they're pretty versatile bits of kit. So you can crush concrete. You can put fridges through it, tires, mattresses, trees, wood waste. So it'll actually shred concrete with 16 mil rebar in it, and it'll shred it down, crush it down to say a 60 to 80 mil minus product, and then yeah, it'll pull all the rebar and everything out of it as well. So yeah, and they're only like 14, 15 ton, and they just fit on the back of a twin steer, like a 10 wheeler and that. So they're pretty handy to get around. So yeah, they are.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty cool bits of kit. They're busy, so but yeah, I've done a fair bit of work. One client did snap one of the shafts and destroy the belt, so that's
Oh,
been interesting and fun.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the
Oh
joys
no.
of machinery ownership, you know.
Yes. Yeah, I hear. I hear. Oh, cool. What do you do? Do you hire those out? Like, can anyone hit you up if they need to get a crusher or something or a shredder, or how does
Yeah,
it work?
mate. Yeah, so we do dry hire. If I have time or I can get to it, I'll go out and do some crushing jobs. I've been up to Sunny Coast Airport. We did, I think, maybe 1,500 tons on site there. We crushed asphalt and the concrete.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I've just been to a few other jobs. So I've got one based up here in Queensland, and then I've got the other one is based in Wetherill Park. So it's down in Wollongong at the moment, shredding some stuff for a demo guy down there. So, yeah.
Mm, there you
But
go.
it's, yeah, we've got like two sets of shafts. So we've got two sets of concrete shafts for both machines. So what we do, you got to hard face them constantly, otherwise the shafts wear out pretty quick. So we just have them on a rotation. So we'll just pull the shafts out, fit the hard face ones, or the rebuilt ones, and then keep the machine going. So, and then we have a set of star shafts, paddle shafts. So you change the shafts and the grate system depending on what you want to crush and or shred, and the product that you want to get out of it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So
cool.
they're
Cool.
pretty cool machines, man. Like we clocked the crocodile that I have up here, the complet, and we were getting 80 to 100 ton an hour. If we were getting a bit of fines in through it as we were crushing the concrete, we were getting 100 ton an hour. So,
100 ton,
and there's
100 ton an hour. Holy
yeah,
moly.
yeah. And what's
Yeah.
good about it too, what's like your shafts are 1500 long and the hopper's 1.2 wide. So you can get a slab like you lift in driveway or footpath, you can peel that slab, and if it's say 1400, you can feed that slab directly down into the shredder and it'll just chew it and then spit all the rebar out the front. So you're not limited to, for the size of the machine, the product that it can take is like pretty wild. So it is ideally 5 to 600 mil bits. It chews through pretty quick, but yeah, you can put the bigger bits in like footings, and we've had like concrete poles with the signpost in them. We've put those in there, and then it spits the signpost out the other side with all the concrete out of the center and everything. So
Wow, there you go, man.
yeah,
There you go. That's
yeah, they're
cool. Yeah,
pretty
I know
cool.
that those shredders and crushers and that. I know they're a lot of maintenance, are they? They're still a fair bit of maintenance. Or what do you think?
Yeah. Oh, my machine is high maintenance compared to, say, a jaw crusher or an impactor. Like an impactor is pretty high maintenance
Yeah,
compared to a jaw. But yeah, you just got these shafts just going. And yeah, it's obviously better to prevent wear than try and repair it. So yeah, we've put a lot of time and effort into hard face all the faces and the shafts. We've made extra wear liners out of like 450 beers to put in the hoppers. So yeah, the better you can prevent wear, the better off you are. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, good, good. Oh, sounds like something interesting, something different from machinery.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's it.
just another thing to look after. Yeah, pretty much. Can't sit still.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, you know what? Versatility, but you can't be always doing the same thing. You got to be versatile and move with the market, like you say, move with the times, demand. So that's it, man. Do it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, everybody knows the cost to get rid of concrete and just cartage alone to get it to and from a site.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you can bring this machine in and crush it on site, leave it there, or whatever you want to do with it, it's pretty good. Even to shred a house, like you can put a wooden house through it and you get, say, a 3 to 1 or a 4 to 1 reduction. So you could fit a whole sort of 3 bedroom house in a high side skip. So you're doing like one truckload instead of multiples. So
that is
yeah, yeah,
that is actually I never thought of that. That's a good option, man. So if you've got like a brick home or a timber home, what you could just put it all through the all through the shredder.
yeah, yeah, that's right. And so then you end up with a cleaner product. So if you did have to take it to the tip, it wouldn't be as contaminated, or the size is reduced as well. So yeah, you can reduce your tip fees, or you can leave it on site, reuse it on site in, say, drainage, backfill for walls, or even just as a driveway access to keep all the mud off site. So there's a few possibilities with it that way too.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So obviously, what you wouldn't put the timber in with it then, yeah? What you just put the bricks in if you can
Yeah,
separately, or can you just throw the
yeah.
whole lot in?
Just Well, you can do the whole lot if you want, but yeah, if you want to crush the concrete first and then you pile the wood to the side and then you do your wood through another one, so then you've got your split piles and away you go. So
Yeah.
yeah, any steel that's left in, say, the house, like if there's bits of tin or steel strapping, will be picked up by the magnet and shot out the side as well. So
I'll tell you what, man, that's really interesting. I never thought of them in that way. I always just thought of like just crushing concrete or rock, whatever, just so you can use it for, for packing material or whatever. But you can actually do it at a demo site and actually, yeah, reduce your truckloads. Like you say, if you try and load all that timber into a truck or a bin, usually it's going to all stack all unevenly and you'll have all these empty gaps in between. Whereas if you crush it all,
yeah,
it'll just fit in and you'll fill the whole bin. That's actually really
yeah,
smart. I never thought of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like even say a client's got a decent sized pool or something, you could crush that pool on site and just put all that concrete back into the hole for the fill.
That is so true. That's true, yeah, because I've done a
Yeah,
few pool removals, and we've had to get rid of all the concrete. You're right. This is just
yeah,
reusing it, putting it all back in.
yeah.
That's actually really good,
I mean,
good,
that's if
man.
they wanted to, but yeah, it just sort of saves a lot of time breaking it and that. I've had a couple of clients that have been doing site cuts and they've pulled out a lot of sandstone. So they've been putting the sandstone into the crusher and breaking it down to like a 60 mil minus, and then a lot of other sites are just taking it for them because they want that product for cut to fill and all that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, they're pretty handy.
There you go, man. There you go. Never thought about any of that. There you go. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's very interesting, man. Very interesting. I'm just picturing all these like quarry sites and that with those, but I never really thought about demolition sites and just guys with that might have a big construction, they're demolishing a warehouse or something, and they've got all that concrete there. I'm thinking of a job we did recently. All that concrete we took away, like
yeah,
big truckloads of concrete with bars in there, trying to separate the bars. And then all this stuff, we could have just had it all crushed it all on site, and then use it on the ground as well. So
yeah,
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 actually,
yeah.
makes
And it
sense.
saves a lot of time on processing as well. Like if you do have a lot there, you can just speed it through because it can take the bigger sizes and it'll pull a lot of the metal and the bad stuff out. So, and then you can feed it into, say, an impact crusher. So then you'll get your nice road base out the back with minimal wear to your impactor. So you're saving time on processing and wear on your impactor as well. So yeah,
There you
they're
go.
pretty cool. They're a versatile machine, which makes them pretty good.
Yeah, no, interesting, man. There you go. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's good. Well, good luck with it. I'm sure by the sounds of it, I reckon it's going to take off. And if anyone is keen on learning some more, speak to Aaron at Definitive or send myself a question and I'll pass it on.
yeah.
And we'll see how we go with it. Yeah.
Well, the boys from Blesso rung me last week, I think, and we
Yep.
were actually chatting about the crushers and yeah, the potential what they have coming up, and yeah, whether it would work for them and whatnot. So yeah, we just got to do a bit more research into like say your EPA side and yeah, because it's not exactly contract crushing. So yeah, I think under 30,000 you don't need a license. So yeah, just need to do a bit more research for it. But yeah, shout out to the boys at Blessos.
That's it, man. That's it. Yeah, he was just on. You said before he had to leave.
Yeah,
ADM Civil's asking, will it make 20 mil minus? I think that's what you were saying before. Then you need an impactor beside it, like another shredder, is it? Or
yeah.
how would that work?
So you can put a screen in front of it, so then you get depending on the meshes in your screen. So if you put a scalping screen, you could put say a 20 mil deck on the bottom and have a 40 mil. And if it's a scalping screen, a smaller one, you could do a two-way split. So then you get a 20 mil minus product and then 20 mil up to the 60 or 80 mil, whatever comes out of it. So yeah, you just put a screen in front of it to pull that out. But the RJs that we have, it also has a little screen that mounts onto the front of the conveyor. So you'll get, I'm pretty sure it's a 30 mil minus, and then it'll shoot out the side, and then everything that's over 30 mil will come out under the conveyor of the machine. So yeah,
There you go. Oh, good. Good. Well, hopefully that answered ADM's question. There you go. People are commenting saying it's a really good decision. Jenna Troy saying that in Queensland, he remembers seeing a lot of that years ago, and then it sort of died off. But now he's saying it looks like it's back again. Um, Going back here, I did see a comment from, I think it was from Tommy Lee. Here he is, Tommy Lee 26. This is actually, so just quickly, I'll do a shout out to Tommy Lee. So this is the young fella that's coming from England. So he's going to come down to Australia from England for a working visa. Comes from a family of earth movers. So his dad actually owns a big training facility in England. It's called the Dozer Trainer. So I don't know if you guys saw an interview I did with his dad not long ago from England. So he's coming down to Brisbane. So I think we originally thought it might be WA, but it's actually Brisbane. And he's going to be here in a few weeks. He's got over 6 years experience operating excavators. So if anyone is looking for a worker or can give him any advice of where to start, he'll be here in a few weeks. send me a message and I'll pass it on to him. So if anyone thinks they might need an operator or can give us, some sort of advice for the young fella where he can start, hit me up. Yeah, send me some details. There you go. All right. Welsh Earth Movers is saying, what do they cost? I think he's talking about your shredders. I can only imagine there'd be a lot of zeros in front of that cost.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they start around the 450 grand, sort of. Yeah, depending on the models and the shafts that you get. So, yeah, I think some are better than others as well. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, if they're keen, they can reach out. So I've obviously got, I look after my two machines, and then there's another guy up here. I look after his machine. He's got the latest Crocodile, the Crocodile Plus. So yeah, and just chatting to a lot of guys over in the UK that run them and everything as well. So I've just been streaming and shredders. That's it.
That's the one, man. That's the one. Good,
Yeah.
good. All right, cool. No, good. Thank you. Thank you for the information and for sharing, what you're doing with it too. All right, so let's get into the actual maintenance matter segment. So some people have sent some questions through, so I'll go through and ask those questions if you can answer. And if anyone has any other questions they want to ask, you can also do that. Oh, here we go. X-Class Earth Moving is saying, do you run, hang on, I've lost it. Do you run on hourly base or quoted only? Oh, is that for the shredders? I think he means.
Yeah. So when we do dry hire, we just do per hour, but generally a minimum 8 hour day, 8 hour hire. So sometimes with the concrete, it can be hard to quote a job because it's you don't know what's underneath it, so it can be a little bit harder. And then depending on what's in it and the size it's processed to, as to whether you can do a quote on, say, tons per hour as well, and do like a cost per ton price. So I'm just sort of running with the hourly hire at the moment.
Beautiful. There you go. All right, excellent. All right, so let's get to the questions. All right, so somebody has asked a couple of these. Two questions are probably very similar. One is, and I think he's talking about excavators here. He's saying tracking in rabbit mode for too long is no good. Is it true that, if you're tracking in rabbit mode for too long, that it's not good for the excavator?
Yeah. So it's whereas the motor will go all day, right? So the hydraulic side, it will be fine, but it's more the other undercarriage components. So your idlers, your track rollers, your carrier rollers, because generally on your smaller excavators, they're not oil filled. So they'll just be like, have a small bush inside of them, could even be like a steel on steel. So they'll heat up, and that's when the damage will start, and they'll start to bind up because they obviously expand and they can bind, or you just wear out the bushings that are inside. So if you go to look at a dozer, the idlers and all the rollers are oil filled. So, and they've got a better system in there. So they're designed for that load and a little bit higher speed as well. But yeah, it's and then obviously if you're tracking in your rabbit mode, you need to make sure that your tensions are good, because you can get the track slap on them as well. But the hydraulic side of the machine and the travel motor, just as long as you're not going crazy, it should be all right. But in the mines, when you'd walk the big machines, you'd always go out there every like 20 minutes, half an hour, and you'd use your temp gun and check the temperatures of all the rollers, because you can smoke them pretty easy. So you get a water cart over and you'd hose them down to cool them down before you cooked them, and cooked all the seals. And then sometimes you'd spin it around and walk it back the other way.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool. No, thank you for that. Because the next question is very similar. So somebody was saying, they were talking about track rolling, and they were saying, because on a lot of sites, if people see track rolling, dirt in with your machine, with your excavator, they say, oh, it's no good, you're rolling, it's no good to track roll and roll too much. But then they're saying, like, why is it that, like, posi tracks or track loaders, like have a similar undercarriage to an excavator, like the hard ones, not the ASV style, but all the other brands have them, the hard, solid undercarriage. How come they can just track all day? Yeah, like the fixed roller. How come they can track all that all day, but the excavator can't. So they're saying like, what's the difference? So it might be similar to what you were just saying, is it?
Yeah, well, it sort of comes down to cost as well. The more you track on your digger, the quicker your undercarriage will wear out. So generally on, say, a steel track machine, you'd look for around 7,000 hours out of undercarriage is pretty good going. So obviously worse conditions, higher wear, so that's going to drop. So it's all dependent on conditions. Like a machine in the tunnel, the tracks, depending on the quality and what you spend on the tracks, won't last long at all, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like I see a lot of guys up here, and I've seen it before where they track roll the site. It's, yeah, I mean, you're better off track rolling the site to leave it looking nice and seal the top so you don't get dust off the site. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
All right. Oh, yeah, because I remember when I used to work on sites, on civil sites, and I sort of probably know what it is too. It was probably the guys just trying to say, don't track too much or don't move too far, because then the supervisors start expecting you to do that often. I don't know, maybe that's why they used to do it. But I remember when I
Yeah,
used to track, they like the supervisor will say to me on a civil site, I need you like all the way on the other side, of the site to dig something. So then they get you to track all the way over. And I remember guys used to say, oh, you should be saying, no, I'm not tracking over there, get it floated. And I'm like, what's the difference though? And then some guys used to tell me, yeah, just
yeah,
track for like 5-10 minutes and then stop for a bit and then go again. So I don't know, like maybe I think that's what this guy is hinting at. Like,
yeah.
is it actually that bad? Like tracking.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. They're designed to do it, but it just comes down to a wear and a cost. So yeah, the more you track and the quicker you track, the quicker everything's going to wear out. So
Yeah, yeah. Because I've
yeah,
done that. There's a lot of sites where we've got no option. So like I'd finish a site cut on a house and then I'd just track roll it. The whole slab. I'll track roll the site cut to make it nice and flat and make it even, like you say, just to give it a bit of a like a nice top layer. And
yeah,
then people used to say like, oh, what are you tracking it for? You don't need to, but you have to. You have to track it in. You got to seal
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like if
Yeah.
you do a lot of tracking, change your final drive oils every 500. So for the price of a couple of liters of oil every 500 hour service, it's worth it, So because you can check the color of the oil, make sure your duocones are fine because if the oil's contaminated with dirt or whatever. So yeah, for the sake of a couple extra dollars, yeah, I'd suggest changing the final drive oils.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember some of my machines used to say every 250 even. On the smaller machines, it used to be every 250 hours to change the drive motor oil. Actually,
Yeah,
the track loader as well. It used to say 250, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know Bobcat charge you a fortune for their special oil for their final drives. I serviced one the other day and changed that oil. So the oil come out look brand new, but yeah,
Yeah.
those final drives, they're just too expensive to take the risk. So for the sake of a couple of bottles of oil, you may as well just do it. So
Yeah, true, true. I also
yeah.
see some questions here. So Walsh Earth Movers in Queensland is saying he tracks all day, laying rock wall and wear tracks and undercarriage really quick. So I suppose, yeah, because he tracks a lot then, yeah. And Sam Axe Excavations is saying, on track tension, what's your trick to getting it to correct tension? Oh, there you go. So yeah, is there a trick to getting it right?
So it depends on the size of the excavator. So say you're on a 20 tonner or a 13, I'll normally just lift the machine up and then you look at where, say you've still got your rock guard or your track guide on your rollers. You want to bring your track up so the top of the chain sits just under that guard. Does that make sense? So it sags down, but it still stays in there. So then if you do lift, you can't walk the chain out from under that chain guard. So you normally want, like say 20 to 40 mil of sag, like under the center. And then once you get used to doing that, then you sit it down, you can see the drop either end on your, like your final drives and idlers.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
There you go.
it's normally the best way. But yeah, like those as you put your fist under the front of the chain and the top of the cannon there, and yeah, so you probably want be able to get your fingers in there in between the the things. Just make sure it's chopped. You don't want to chop your fingers off.
Yeah, true.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. And then he's asking as well, is it different for steel or rubber tracks? Probably similar, yeah?
Yeah, it's very similar for the tension. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, steel tracks you'll know when they're too tight because you can hear it. But rubber tracks you won't hear it. You know, you'll hear that grinding of the pins as they're trying to go around on steel. But rubber you won't hear it. You'll just get it out of less life because you'll stretch the radials inside the rubber, so stretch the tracks.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So what, 20 to 40 mil sort of in the center after you've lifted the machine off the side,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
In the middle, or you have like your steel track in the track guide, and you just want the top of the chain to be within that, not drop below it, so you don't have a gap between the track guide. So yeah, that's normally the best way. So if you do lift up and hit something, it'll hit that track guide and your chains will stay in there. So
Yeah, they won't slip out from under it. Yeah,
it won't
no, good. That's
slip
good.
out. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. And we've got two more questions. One is, and this probably relates to something that happened to me recently. So there was a Komatsu PC 130 where I snapped the bottom of the dipper arm. So the hitch boss actually ripped out from where the boss is and actually peeled back.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of feedback on that. People were like, "Oh, you must have been too rough and all that." But then the guy that I was operating for said that had already been snapped in the exact same way not long before myself. So they had it all welded. So someone was asking, once a boom or dipper arm is cracked, there's a crack somewhere, and you have it repaired, is it likely that it's just going to break in that sort of same spot again? Does that become a weak spot?
So it depends on where in the boom. So around where that would have snapped at that main pivot, without seeing it, that bottom section is a cast part. So you've got sort of two different types of metal coming together to be welded.
Yeah.
So if it's not done properly, they can crack again because as the two different steels cool down, obviously cast iron's bad for it. The expansion can affect it. But if the repair's done right, generally it should be pretty good. So I know over in WA, the lads were always in the booms on like the Hitachis and that, welding them up and repairing them, and then they'd rip them off for a full refurb. But if they're fish plated properly, like say you got cracks in the side, and you do the weld all the way through, you can gusset the inside sometimes, and then you can put fish plates on the side, and your fish plates are all cut properly and the welds are done right. It should be fine, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've repaired a few booms ourselves in house, and they've been all right, like on little PC 30s and 35s and Kubotas and that. So, but
all right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Cool. Because they were also asking, like, so is it better to just buy another dipper arm or another boom, rather than try and fix it, or just try and fix it and see what happens?
Yeah, try and fix it. If you get a good boilermaker, they'll do the good job and do the repair properly. Going cheap, that is probably when you'll end up having to get a stick because it'll just be too much damage done to the machine. So, because if you do have the cracks, you want to take a piece out and make sure that it's not cracked inside, because most booms and sticks will have gussets inside. And they can crack, and that's sometimes what is caused the external cracking. So it'll be cracked inside before you see it happen outside, and the gussets will allow it to twist and flex.
Yeah. And that might maybe be an answer to Jack's question here. So EMBE Higher Jack is saying, why are some brands more prone to it than others? Would that be because the way their gussets are set up, or the way they've made their arms?
Yeah. Just the design, and also the quality of the steel. So thickness, whether it's robot welded, like whether they stitch weld certain spots instead of fully welding it, and how much stress testing they put into the boom. So you'll see sometimes on on your old brochures, or when you're looking on up machine specs, you'll see where they have the stress testing on the booms. You can see like the green, the reds, and yeah. So yeah, a lot of work does go into it, but I've seen a lot of pretty good failures, especially in the mines on some of the bigger ones. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've had a few things go. Yeah, on a couple of fives, on a 20. I've had a few cracks here and there, though, especially if I've had guys with rippers trying to break stuff or rip stuff and or bash down on things. Just it happens, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
yeah,
Hang on a second. I'm looking. I'm reading questions at the same time. ADM Civil
yeah,
is saying digger arms with the hole in the top always seem to snap up there.
yeah.
On
So
smaller machines. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the Komatsus were bad for that, and then they filled in the top. They used to have a hole sort of like that on the top of the stick, and yeah, they used to crack a fair bit.
yeah, yeah. It's true. I think that's
Yeah,
right. They do. Yeah, when they got the little opening at the top of them. Yeah, yeah. All right.
yeah,
That's that one. Now the last question, and this was I had
yeah,
to do a little bit of research because even though we all think we know it, it's still not. It doesn't always click. So someone was asking about weights with their truck. So I had
yeah,
a guy saying that he wants to start carrying a posi track or a track loader on the back of his truck, but he couldn't work out what weight he can hold. So he sent me a picture of his door of the truck, which had all the weights on it, and his truck said GVM 6.5 ton. The tear is 3.5 ton, and the GCM is 10 ton. So I had a look and to give everyone the correct definitions. So the GVM is the gross vehicle mass. So that is the maximum weight of the maximum weight a vehicle can carry, including the payload, so whatever you put on it, the
yeah,
body, fuel, and occupants. So what it would be at full capacity. So in his case, the GVM is 6.5 ton. That means that including his load and everything, that means he can only carry 6.5 ton all in total, including the truck itself. Yeah, is that?
yeah. That's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
All right.
you just and then your tear weight is the truck empty.
Yeah. So just the truck
So
body as it
yeah,
is. Yeah. All right. So
yeah. So
that
like
was
yeah, if
that was 3.5. So that means if his tear's 3.5 and the truck is 6.5, so you do 6.5 minus 3.5, that leaves you with
three
three
and a half,
thousand
yeah,
kilos. So he can carry 3 ton. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
6.5 minus 3.5, he leaves you with 3 ton. So that
yeah.
means yeah he can carry up to 3 ton payload like in the back of his truck.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. And then the GCM is if he's got a tag trailer, it's the tag trailer plus whatever's on that tag trailer as well. So it's everything hooked up.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. So that's sorry, I got that definition as well. So GCM equals gross combined mass, and that is
Yep.
the weight of the tow vehicle and trailer hitched together while both are fully loaded. Yeah, so that's the 6.5 for the truck plus whatever the trailer weighs plus its payloads. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that means he can only carry 10 ton in total with everything. So that means if
Yeah.
his truck is GVM 6.5, that means he can really only have a 3.5 ton trailer that sort of load in it as well. So a total. So he might need
Yeah.
like a 2 ton trailer with a 1.5 ton machine on it. And that's it. Yeah. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
right. And ADM makes a very good point as well. You've got to be careful where the load is situated on the truck. So if you have too
Yeah.
much weight on your front axle, you can be in a lot of strife. So, and it does affect the performance of the vehicle as well. You know, your steering, your braking, and everything. So it's important to figure out where it should be, especially on your tag trailers. So, because if you are bringing a trailer, you have to make sure what you've got on the hitch and what your hook is good for. And then, yeah, so it's a balancing point.
Yeah. You can't just load it right up. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what. Yeah. Jack Healy's saying that, and then you still can't exceed the axle weights. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Oh.
I've been learning a fair bit about it as well. Because my crusher's on the smaller side, I want to get multiple loads onto the one float, but then the laws are just crazy and they change from state to state. You can't have an indivisible load. And yeah, if it's two machines on the one float, it's got to be rated to a certain weight. Oh, yeah, they do well then
Yeah.
float drivers. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then we've got the NHVR. Yeah, if they come and test you out or catch you, then you're in trouble. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's it. And then
yeah,
ADM saying, yeah, always helps going over a way bridge, going over with your front axle, seeing your weight, and then the rear. Yeah, so you can see what weights you've got and balance yourself out. There you
yeah,
go. Yeah, I used to do it basically. What I used to do is when I had my tag trailer, I used to just see if it's level. So I used to put the machine on and just the way I did it is just move the 5-tonner on with all the attachments and then just sort of watch that the trailer's level. That's just how I used to work it out.
yeah,
That was the easiest way. I used to say if it's level and it's not sort of pushing too far down on the front, then that's fine.
yeah.
What's
Yeah, I always
Walsh
check
Earth?
my truck as well when I'm going over the weigh bridges because I just start collecting stuff and I'm like, oh, it's getting hot. So yeah, get back and unload it a bit.
Yeah. And we've got Nigs on the Digs saying one divisible load is only on oversized loads.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. So hopefully we've helped his listener out with his decision. So really, I said to him that means you probably can't get something greater. Like you can't get a posi or a track loader bigger than 3 ton, which actually means you probably has to be something less than that because he's got to include the bucket with it and everything. So he
yeah,
probably can only get something like I don't know, like a 2 ton skid
yeah.
steer or
A
something there with a.
PT40 or something.
Yeah, so that's what he did say actually. If you did have to get one, what would we all sort of say? I said the same thing. I said maybe like a PT30 or a PT25 or 40, whatever they've got
Yeah,
nowadays. I don't even know the numbers anymore. Or something like that, something in that size, because you got to allow for the bucket and that as well. And if you've got a smudgy, you got to put that on there. So yeah,
yeah,
the weight builds quickly. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool,
Your
cool.
ramps as
Well,
well. You got to carry ramps. It all
yes.
starts adding up. Yeah,
Yeah, true, because you got to actually include the ramps, and the ramps can be like 60, 70 kilos each as well. They can get up
yeah,
there. The weight, yeah, I remember the ramps can be pretty heavy. So yeah, I suppose that's another 100 and something kilos you got to add to the load. All right, no, good, good. So hopefully we've helped him out. That was all the listener questions that I had. Did anybody send anything to you? Have you got any questions that people have been asking you want to answer?
uh, man, none to
No.
be honest. I think
Oh,
I might have spoken to a couple of guys. I'd have to go back through my messages, but
yeah.
yeah, no,
All right.
like obviously Blesso's rang me the other week to chat about the shredders and that. So yeah, just having a few chats on the side about that stuff as well, which is pretty good. So, but
All right.
they work
No.
hard, they wear fast.
Yeah. 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 That's it. That's it. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's open it up. So if anyone wants to join us, feel free. Let me know. We've only got what time is it already? Oh my gosh, we've only got like 9 minutes. If anyone wants to quickly join in, or they've got something that they really want to add, or if you've got another question you want us to answer while we're here finishing up, please do so. In the meantime, I will remind everyone that you can buy merch for Earthworks Hub on the Earthworks Hub website. So you can go on there and click on shop. And to make sure that you're following Earthworks Hub on all the platforms. So not just Instagram and TikTok, but also on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. So make sure you go on there and you subscribe and like and follow and share and all that other jazz. So the more
Yeah,
the merrier. The more the merrier.
yeah,
And also make sure you go and follow Definitive as well. Definitive Contracting.
yeah.
Nigs and the
Thanks, eh?
Digs is no worries, man. Nigs and the Digs is saying he's got another question. Parts availability on the shredder. What's it like to get parts in that for it? Yeah.
It depends on what parts. So the shafts, I obviously have spare shafts, but I carry a lot of parts, so I ordered a lot of parts to come with it, like my rollers. I sourced a few other bits and pieces locally, so I don't put the genuine belt on. I've just had a belt company do a belt for me up here. They've come and spliced it on, just done a cold splice. And then the rest is just general filters. So touch wood, other than them snapping a shaft and yeah, just wearing out the belts really quick. Everything else is pretty easy. So yeah, all your rubber skirts, all your wear items aren't too bad. So
All right, beautiful. That's good. Yeah, that's it. Like, it's good to have stuff on hand as well. Yeah, because you don't want to be waiting for it in case they don't have it in stock. Now JJH Excavation is saying, yeah, buy a bigger truck, then you don't have to worry about being on the limit all the time with your weights. Yeah, so he's going back to that conversation about the guy's GVM on his truck. And then MOBA
yeah,
Australia is saying, MOBA's saying, if anyone is keen on a site demo in Brisbane, hit us up. They're doing an on-site demo this week in Brisbane on Monday and Tuesday for 2D, 3D, and rovers. There you go, man. There you go. And Walsh Earth Movers in Queensland are also asking a question. What's the warranty on a shredder? Everyone's interested in the shredder. You've started a new trend.
mate, they're pretty cool bits of kit. So yeah, they just cost a lot and they're high maintenance. So that's probably what turns a lot of people off, you know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'd have to check on the warranty. To be honest with you, I haven't really worried about it because I just hook in and fix the stuff myself. So, but yeah, I do work closely with a dealer for the complets and that, and I'm hoping to get over to Italy and go to the factory to get some better training on them and that as well, which will be pretty good. So. But yeah, they're not too bad. I've obviously got all the information, but on the warranty, I couldn't really tell you. So
Yeah. All right. No worries. Thank you for that. So yeah, there you go. And everyone, yeah, if you didn't see that before about MOBA, Monday, Tuesday, they'll be in Brisbane doing site demos. Get in touch with them if you're interested in a 3D or 2D system or a rover. They can show you all that. What else have we got? We've got another 5 minutes. Guys, if you've got some more questions, hit us up. Now is your chance. TikTok has been very quiet. I was so happy to have this finally hooked up with TikTok, and I've had heaps of TikTok guys asking me like, "Hey, why haven't you got? Why aren't you doing your shows on TikTok?" And I was like, "It's very hard because I can't connect to it." So I finally did it, and now no one's asking any questions. It's very quiet. So TikTok, if you've got a question, also ask something as well because I can correlate it across everyone. Nigs on the Digs is saying he'd be interested in the MOBA stuff. So yeah, I think he's up in Brizzy there as well. So he might come up and hit them over, guys. What else? I did mention about the merch, the website, listing your businesses. What else is there? Would you like to add anything else as well, Aaron?
mate, are you going to come up to the Diesel Dirt and Turf version up in Brizzy? They've got a show up in Brizzy. I think it's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, well, if that's the Brisbane CCF thing and the truck show combined, that is on the exact same date as Diesel Dirt and Turf in Sydney.
Yeah, I think it starts a couple of days earlier or something. Yeah.
I think it starts one day earlier. I was actually trying to look at going to both, and then I was like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'll make it because I've got to go all the way up to Brizzy for that one day and then try and make my way back. So I don't know if I'll make it. Oh, Sydney Rock will notice the shirt. Sorry, my microphone's hiding it for you. Yeah, you didn't see that because he joined a bit later. But yes, I was repping your shirt, mate, today. Thank you. Yeah, so no, I want to go, but I don't think I'll make it because I'm going to drive up to DDT. So I don't think I can drive all the way up to Brizzy and then come back in one day to get to the DDT. It'll be too much.
You're pushing the limits there.
Yeah. So I don't want to be doing that. Actually, we've got a question from TikTok. Hey, we've got a TikTok question. Here we go. On grade 145, he's saying, what's the work like in Brisbane? Might be time to move to Melbourne. Oh, it might be time to move because Melbourne is dead. Yeah, you're probably right, man. Speaking about work, Melbourne, very, very quiet. Very quiet. To be honest, I haven't done any machine work since the start of the year. I've been like asking people if they need an operator, and everyone's a bit quiet. So I don't know. It's very, very quiet. What's it like up there?
Mate, it's busy. Yeah. There's some big jobs going on up here. Yeah, a lot of big subdivisions, like the Burleigh Light Rail. There's a fair bit happening. Everyone's pretty busy up here. So it's pretty good. It's probably definitely worth a look around. So I think there's a bit of pumped hydro on that to come as well. But even Sydney, I think there's a few bigger projects like that Western Arana Power Zone out near Mudgee or something. I think that's a pretty big job.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Brizzy pumping, yeah, the Gold Coast, yeah, it's all pretty busy up here.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've
So,
heard that. All the other Brisbane guys are like, no, don't bother. It's not that good. Yeah, they're scared everyone's going to take their work.
yeah.
And then Viz from TikTok is also asking, do you think the work in Melbourne will pick up soon, in subdivisions especially? Hard to say, man. Hard to say. I don't see things improving very, very quickly. I think the banks haven't been dropping their rates as quickly as everyone thought. So people
Yeah.
probably still aren't confident in building. So subdivisions, I mean, developers probably aren't selling as many blocks. I can tell you now, I've got a property I've been selling for like 8 months. I can't sell it. So it's very, very hard to like sell. No one's confident to buy. I think everyone's scared of buying here. So the
Yeah.
problem is that they're not buying land. So developers aren't developing. So I think it's going to be very, very quiet. And I can see a lot of guys will be struggling. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
that
think, uh,
that land tax in Victoria as well, that's crazy. I looked at something about that the other day, and the money is phenomenal. I think it's
oh,
just, yeah, overtaxed and overregulated down there. They're killing it.
it's bad, man. That's why I'm selling stuff. Yeah, it's
Mm.
just properties at the moment, having a rental. And on top of having the land taxes and that, you've got to have an annual gas and electricity check on all your property, all your rentals. You've got to have all this extra paperwork nowadays, and then it's just very, very hard to have an investment, let alone your own house
Yeah,
in Melbourne at the moment. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
yeah, it's,
so yes, I think answering that question, I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon in Melbourne. On grade 145 as well, I've said just then on TikTok, it's over. It's over. Subdivisions are very quiet. Winslow just laid off 27 subbies,
oh, wow.
and 28 from a plant hire company. So there you go, man. So yeah, I reckon, man. And Viz is saying they subby at Civticon, and it's all what is it? So we are subbing at Civ2Con at the moment, and it's all subbies on our job. 5 machines going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't
I
know.
think unless you're on those the big rail jobs, I don't think there's much happening in Melbourne. So I think the
Yeah,
government just put out another $2 billion towards that suburban rail loop, that SRL. But yeah, I know they're paying big money down there. So if you can get onto those jobs, it's yeah, massive
yeah,
money. Like
yeah,
you're getting
definitely.
paid doctor
Yeah,
and lawyer money.
yeah. It is. It's true. If you can get in there, get in there.
Yeah.
Going back to a few other questions here. ADM Civil said, with rubber tracks on an excavator, do you recommend going with the manufacturer's tracks or aftermarket? Uh, my opinion, if I can say something,
Yeah.
I never went to the manufacturers. Actually, I did originally with one of my machines. I think it might have been my PT60 originally. I went and got the original ones. They were good. They were good tracks. But I went and got aftermarket ones later, and then every machine after that, I just got aftermarket, and they seem to have lasted just as long. I suppose. I don't know. What's your opinion, man?
Yeah. So we were looking after a 299D cat in Positrack in the tunnel. So it was working hard, man. We were changing tracks every 3 weeks, once a month. And it was just spinning on the spot in like sandstone out of the hole. And we found the best wearing tracks were the cat tracks, but they were almost double the price of any other track. So it's do you pay the money for the extra life in the tracks, or do you have a mechanic like myself come out and spend 4 hours changing over tracks? Like it's a catch-22, but you just need to look at the quality of the track. Sometimes you'll buy one off off the OEM and it'll be a Bridgestone track, or you'll be able to buy a Bridgestone track from another supplier like a deck. ITR tracks aren't too bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, you just have to look at how they're built. So like it's the way the steel inside the track, how much steel's in the track, whether it's like a radial where it's continuous, because yeah, the less steel in the track, the less life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true. And
Yeah.
I found that I did. I found there was one OEM track that I really liked, and I don't know if it might have been the Cat one. The little thin strip ones on the Cat Posi track. It was like little thin strips that you can use. I
Oh,
think they were
yeah,
called like I think they were the all round track, whatever they call it. Like you can go anywhere.
yeah,
But then after that, I just kept getting the block pattern ones just from
yeah.
just aftermarket. I think
Block pattern's pretty
ITR or
good.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that sort of
yeah,
lasted a bit
yeah.
longer. You know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's even with like steel undercarriage, like um, you got to be careful. Like you can, if it's cheap for a reason because there's less steel in it. Like you can physically pick up, say, a sprocket and compare the weight of a genuine sprocket to a non-genuine, or like a good non-genuine, and you'll feel the weight. So it
Yeah.
just comes down to, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's,
True.
yeah,
I suppose, like you say,
it's
do
a
you want to
it's a
pay?
catch-22.
You want to pay that? Yeah, pay that bit extra and have it for maybe a bit longer, or pay half and then just change it over twice in the same time. I don't know. It depends. Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends. Or take the risk, and if it doesn't break, then you might end up lucky and
Yeah.
then have it for just the same amount. Who knows?
Yeah. And another good point with steel tracks is when you change the chains might be worn, but your grousers look like they're still good. For me, to change your grousers, it's not worth it. Just buy a complete set. Like,
Yeah.
unless some people will take the chains and they'll swap the grouser plates over for you, but they've got like a proper plate machine. So like they'll slide the tracks up, they've got the proper tooling there, whereas I'd be doing it on the dirt, like and you're bent over and you're either cutting off the old grouser bolts, they're seizing up and you've got to cut them again. So you pretty much got to get all brand new hardware and then you got to clean everything off, buff everything up, and then you got to sit there and do them up. Just buy complete tracks.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yeah.
it to your mechanic. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
unless they're slow and they're not that busy, then they'll say yes and they'll do the job for you. But I hate doing it. I've done too many of them now. Never again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, true. I've seen one mechanic struggle on my machine, on my one that old 20 tonner. I think we decided to just change the chain and a couple of the grouses or whatever, but it was a pain. Yeah, I saw him. He was
Yeah,
killing himself. He hated it. Absolutely hated it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's a punish for the money that you think you're saving. You're not really because you've got longer downtime and your mechanics there for longer or two mechanics.
yeah, 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 true. All right, there you go. So hopefully we answered ADM's question. Now I'm gonna keep going back here. ADM saying, what brand do you recommend is going to be up for a new set this year? Well, you've got ITR is pretty good if you're looking at those
ITR,
aftermarket
that's
ones.
not bad. Yeah,
Earth Moving Warehouse, if you want, go to Earth Moving Warehouse. They've got a range of brands on there, and you can use my code and get a discount. So keep that in mind.
yeah,
Nigs and the Digs is saying Bridgestone is usually pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good.
yeah.
Uh,
Bridgestone's normally pretty good.
yeah, I think all the Kubotas come out with Bridgestone. I'm pretty sure, the excavators and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
EMBE, Jack Healy saying, why the F isn't there any rail to Tullamarine Airport with all the rail public transport is useless if you need to catch an Uber before you can use it. There's actually talk about the rail to the airport coming up, but I don't know what happened. It went quiet because my factory that I built backs onto a rail sort of a yard or a railway, and that was meant to be the one that they convert to go to the airport. But I don't know what's happened because we used to get all these notifications saying that there's a potential it's going to be an airport. What do you call it? Like they're going to use that to go to the airport, but no, I haven't heard anything since then. It's been quiet. And what's happening here? JJH is saying you want to jump on the roller for me. Was he talking to me? He might have been. If you need a hand, just yell out, man. Just yell out. You never know. Sydney Rockwell saying, yeah, TKV is good for ADM. All right. And
Yeah.
then some of the guys on TikTok were saying earlier, I missed their comments. They were still talking about that work in Victoria. And, when you mentioned about the rail there, Aaron, they were saying that it's all about who you know, not what you know when it comes to the rail. They're all talking about how mates get looked after first, which is true. I've heard that about the rail jobs.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get in unless you know someone.
Yeah, just tunnels as well, man. Like, yeah, they all
I've
just
heard.
they stick together. You go from one to the next to the next. So, but yeah, tunneling's hard yakka.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, true.
Just one thing too, like on, say, your undercarriage stuff, if you are going to an aftermarket, ask if there's two price points. So you could go for a cheaper one, or you could spend a bit more. Because when you talk to the sales rep, they might just be pushing you the cheapest option because that's what they think you're going to get from somebody else. But just ask them, is there something that's a little bit more expensive that's better quality? And they might have that. So just always keep that in mind as well, because they might have a cheaper option and a better option. So
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because I think going back to my PT60, I think I went to look for aftermarket tracks, and then when I called the OEM, they actually weren't that much different. There was yeah, that's right. There was a point where they had them on sale, and they were selling them for almost the same price. It might have been like only a couple $100 more. You get the OEM ones.
yeah,
So so it depends. Yeah. So also ask you where you got your machines from as well before you buy the aftermarket ones, because they may not be that much more. You just go have a look, see what they've got.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And if you get like an extra few hundred hours out of them, or 1,000 hours, and you've saved that money on downtime and labour. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just stirring up Jack. He's saying, don't you just fly everywhere anyway? Because Jack's got a little plane. So there you go. Don't worry about the tracks, Jack. What else is there? That's it. So all the guys' questions, it looks like we've answered everything. It's good. We actually got some guys interacting from TikTok, which is showing me that it was worthwhile getting this project and combining it somehow. So that's good. That's good.
yeah,
All right. Well, we have gone beyond our time, so it's good that we've had we've had a whole range of topics tonight. It's good. Very good conversation.
yeah.
Once
No,
again, Aaron, I really appreciate you coming on, man. This is really good. Are you enjoying it still? Are you happy to keep doing this?
yeah, no, I enjoy it, mate. I like the questions and the banter on the chat. It's good, mate. Like, yeah, we're getting more questions every week, and yeah, it's good. I enjoy it. So I'll start posting some more stuff on my Instagram, and yeah, be a bit more proactive with it. So yeah, maybe next time I'm
Yeah.
doing skid steer tracks. I actually had to change a set of tracks. I was hard facing a client shredder, and then they brought their posi track over, and I had to change the tracks as well as torture. But yeah, there's a few little good tricks you can do with yeah, changing that out. But we might save that for the next one. So
That's good.
next maintenance
That's good, man.
matters.
That's the
Yeah,
one, man. Keeps everyone intrigued. That's it. Make them come back. That's it. Well done, mate.
yeah,
And these guys are stirring each other. Speaking of banter, they're saying
yeah,
that is Moba going to supply the almond lattes? It's a bit of an inside joke that they serve almond latte at their site, and
yeah.
yeah, Moba's saying, yeah, you'll have to come to Melbourne for that. And man, Jack Healy's saying that's all they have. We're all lactose intolerant here in Melbourne. I think we've had too many coffees over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've become too lactose intolerant here. All right. No, good. Very, very good. I won't hold everyone
Awesome.
up. It is going to be everyone's going to work tomorrow. Well, most of us have to go to work tomorrow. But yeah, once again, thank you, Aaron, for joining us, and
No,
yeah,
thanks
I
for
can't
having
wait to
us.
see you again. That's it.
Awesome. Chat
Yeah.
soon. See you,
No worries,
everybody.
man. Yeah, see you, Aaron. Thanks very much, man. Have a good one. To everybody
You too.
else,
See you, mate.
well, see ya. To everybody else, thank you very much once again for joining us. I hope we've answered all your questions. If you have any other questions that you want us to answer, send me the questions. Send me either by email or DM me on one of the platforms. To all the TikTokers, thank you very much for staying on and joining us for this evening. Everybody on Instagram, once again, thank you. Have a great week, and I will see you all on the next episode. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.